And sad to say, it happened again. It happened again. It happened twice. Twice on the same trip. So, I was stranded in Atlanta twice in one weekend. So, I get done with my family reunion. It is Sunday night, or Sunday, I should say Sunday. When it all started to happen, it was like Sunday afternoon. So it was me and it was two of my other cousins who had late flights. Everyone else left by then. Some people had even gotten home by the time our flights were supposed to take off. So I was supposed to leave at 7 out of Myrtle Beach, layover in Atlanta, and from Atlanta to San Diego. I leave my cousins because their flight was supposed to leave at 8. So by the time they would have gotten to the airport, I would have already been gone. So I say goodbye, my everything. I'll see y'all later. Whatever, whatever. Get to the airport. I am not checking my bag this time. I learned this was a mess, and part of what made it even worse was having to try to find my bag. And um, even though like having to find my bag is what got me on the flight that I needed to get on to get out of Atlanta the first time, it was still like I'm not checking shit. I'm gonna have my shit with me. Luckily, I'm a carry-on traveler. Shout out to my carry-on travelers. I was like, I could just carry my stuff with me, and I only carry another bag. I also have a purse, but I can fit my purse in my second bag, so I can get down to two bags if I need to. So I carry my stuff with me. So I'm sitting there, and I see my flight gets delayed. At first, it was like 30 minutes. Now, I've been through this before, so I was like, they gonna cancel this flight. I already know they gonna cancel this flight. So I start freaking out, like, bro, I cannot stay here. The thing is, if I still had family who were there in Myrtle Beach, I wouldn't have been as concerned. But I didn't know anyone in Myrtle Beach. This was like we had a family reunion. Usually we try to have our family reunions where there are other people, or where people live, where our family lives. But this time we were trying to do something different. And so there was no one who we knew who lived there. So I had to get out of Myrtle Beach. I was standing in line because I was thinking to myself, okay, what if I can get a connection from Atlanta to Charlotte? I could stay with family and I could leave Charlotte to San Diego. At least that way I would be with family. I wouldn't be by myself. And so I stand in line. There's a gate agent there. She helps the first two or three people she leaves. She comes back, she helps another person. And then there are other people from the flight next to us, which was also going to Atlanta, which got canceled, who were trying to get on this flight. And so they walk over, they're going up to the gate, they're trying to understand what the lady is saying. We asked, someone left from talking to her. We stopped her. We, as in me and the person behind me, stopped her. Asked her what she said. She said, well, I wanted to ask her if if this flight was gonna get canceled because that flight just got canceled. And she said that flight got canceled because they were missing a flight attendant. And so it's likely that our flight is gonna take off. I was like, all right, cool. While I was standing in line, I was talking to this lady behind me. She was super nice, super nice. She is living in LA right now. And she was like, I've been trying to get home. I was supposed to come over here for a baby shower. I ended up missing the baby shower because I was trying to get here on Friday. I couldn't get here until Saturday. So I missed the baby shower. But now I'm just trying to get home. And so we was both from the West Coast stranded on the East Coast looking around like, what we about to do? So we ended up just waiting. I go back, I sit where my cousins are sitting because their flight got delayed too. So now both of our flights are delayed until 8:30. So I sit with them. As I'm sitting with them, my connection to my connection from Atlanta to San Diego got canceled. So I'm sitting there like like what is about to happen? What is about to happen right now? So I tell them, I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna get out of Myrtle Beach, because when I was talking to the lady behind me, she said her thought process was, as long as I can get to where there are more flights leaving, I'll have a better chance. I was concerned about being stranded in Atlanta the second time, which is what made me hesitant. But then I heard her, and I was like, oh, that's a good thought process. She was right. If I can get to where there are more flights leaving, I have a better chance of getting on standby. I have a better chance of leaving sooner than if I stay here in Myrtle Beach and there's only 3 flights leaving to the West Coast. When I go to Atlanta, there's a million flights leaving to the West Coast, whether that's to LA, that's to San Diego. I could even get to San Francisco and figure it out. Get a flight to Southwest or on Southwest to get down to San Diego. So anyway, I waited, and then it was time for us to board our flight. So I told my cousins, let me go check and see if they're opening the boarding door. I go over there, and they are opening the boarding door. I said, hallelujah. So I come, I hug one of my cousins. The other one had gone to the bathroom. So she was like, just go, just go. I'll tell them you said, that you love them and have a great flight or whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So I go over there. They call my zone. I get in line. This is about to be some shit. I get in line. I get up to the thing. Now, something told me to check my flight number. So I checked my flight number, and it was right. I looked on the screen. I looked on my ticket. And what happened last time, I had so flashback to part 2, I think. Part 2, I was getting ready to stand in this line that I stood in for like an hour and a half. I was running out of battery. Mind you, I had been in the airport all day, and not all of the seats have plugs in the seats. I have a portable charger that I bring with me whenever I travel. I had used up the portable charger, and I didn't realize that until I was standing in that line. I had, like they'll have like dots to tell you where it's at. I was on the last dot because I had pulled it out to charge my AirPods, and I realized, oh my God, my phone is on 18%. This line has taken an hour already. I need to wait until this gets down to like an unreasonable number and charge my phone. And so I used my last bit of charge to charge my phone, and when I made it to the desk, I was at 10%. And so I told myself, you need to get a paper ticket this time so that if it happens again, if your phone dies, you'll have the paper ticket. So so now we're back here in this time where I'm trying to leave Myrtle Beach. I get up to the front where she's scanning the tickets. I use my phone, scan my phone. It doesn't work. Scan my phone again. And when I say it doesn't work, everybody else was making 2 dings, like ding, ding. Mine was like ding, and it was like eh. And she looks at the thing. She looks down at my phone. She was like, try it again. So I tried again. She's like, I don't know why that's not working. I was like, well, I have a paper ticket if you want to try that. She was like, yeah, let's try that. Scans the paper ticket. Same thing happens. Scans it again. Same thing happens. I was like, is this a joke? What is going on? Like, am I being tested? Because the thing is, you got to be careful what you pray for. I had prayed for more patience. If I didn't have it before this trip, I definitely have it now. So I was looking around like, this has got to be a joke. I just want to go home. So she asked me, can you stand over to the side? So I'm going to stop here because what I'm about to say is a story in and of itself. And so, like I said, it took me more than 10 minutes, and I should have known that. But buckle in again, because what's the next thing that we're going to talk about is how we as people need to be better to people. And it's ridiculous that I even have to talk about this in the first place.